Our advisors, the workshop is Wednesday night. We are kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit and letting you know exactly what Elder Advisors does, how they accomplish it. Autumn, I mentioned I wanted to chat with you a little bit because under perfect circumstances, what you do, placement is tough. What kind of things do you look for? Is it about what kind of care this person needs? Does that senior facility specialize in that? How does it work?
So, yeah, everything, it just depends on the person, the individual, what they've got going on. You know, we have a lot of clients who may have like dementia, or maybe they just aren't mobile. So there's a lot of different parts in certain nursing homes, facilities. They'll take, you know, some clients with memory care and some won't, and it just really makes it tough. And there's just lots of different rules that come with memory care. Sometimes it's a locked unit, sometimes it's not that serious. So and a lot of people don't know that or understand that, where I know which facilities they will work with, or you know, or maybe at least that facility could help navigate with me to find another facility for that family. And there's a lot of moving parts there that go with that, but it's not as simple as just calling a facility. It's in my neighborhood. I think that's where I'd like to go. It's not as simple as that. Some facilities don't do Medicaid, some do. We work with people that do long-term care as well if they, you know, aren't ready for Medicaid yet. But there's just a lot of different areas to cover when you're doing placement. It's not as easy as just a phone call.
Larry, when you add someone like Autumn, okay, job one is let's make sure that you don't have to go broke in a nursing home. That's your motto, and that's what you stand behind. But you've added a lot of different parts because it is more complex than people think, and you need to be comprehensive if you're going to help, right? So why do you keep adding quality people?
And well, that's a given. But with the expanse of the job duties that Autumn has taken on, it's really because the clients needed that. The profession demanded that of us. So we either accepted it and enhanced what we offer, or we simply say, no, we can't do that. And when you close the door to someone, that's limiting options, and no one wants to do that. You know, I'm not an attorney. I always refer them to elder law superstar attorney Steve Langdon. He's usually challenged on his fashion wardrobe. But with his legal skill set, it's very, very good.
Yeah, Steve, I want to talk. We mentioned power.
How was that for an endorsement, counsel?
That was pretty good.
Stunning.
Was that a stellar endorsement?
Should have done it with a feather boa, though. It just adds a little bit of an exclamation mark. Yeah. We talked about the importance of power of attorney. But, Steve, you know, to be able to save people money and keep it in their own pocket, there are nuances and strategic games. They're all legal, but if you don't know the rules, then you can't save the money.
Hey, you know what? It's tax season. I don't do my own taxes. I go to a professional who does this and only does this
Elder law.
every day. It's the same thing with what we do. You've got to go to somebody. You've got to go to an attorney who does this and does it every day. You know, I practice in Kentucky, but I also practice over in Indiana. I've got offices on both sides of the river. There are different rules on both sides. You can go from county to county and have different rules. The rules aren't different. It's just the folks you're dealing with and work with the rules differently. Let me put it that way. So the rules are the same, but the way they interpret the rules are just different.
See, and you have those relationships, which really helps.
You have to. Sadly, sometimes you'll go to one office and get an answer from one cubicle that's different from the answer from the next cubicle over. You've got to know the rules. You got to know the law, because a lot of what I do is sit down with caseworkers and help them understand what the federal law actually says.
So we've talked about a little about the legal side, a little bit about placement. So Larry, what will be discussed at this workshop? And I encourage everyone to attend.
Yeah, well, we usually open up the workshops, and we weren't going to do a February workshop. You know, usually the weather and stuff. Well, obviously January came, so we just kind of put that off. In February, we kind of checked the weather. You know, I mean, why would I go anywhere else but Kevin Harned's weather reports with Wave 3, baby? I mean,
nicely
and
done.
John Ramsey.
Nicely
I mean, it's just cozy. You know,
I'll give you props for
I get
that
all
one.
my information from Wave 3. Don't go anywhere else, Kentucky.
Hope not to see you on the weather.
So,
you know,
in any event, the weather looked good for the workshop day after tomorrow, the 9th. And Steve and I asked Steve if he was available. He said, yeah. So I'm like, let's go ahead and do one workshop. But it is good news, and it's this Wednesday, day after tomorrow, the 9th. Only one, 10 a.m., Hilton Garden Inn on Crittenden Drive, right next to the Cracker Barrel, right off the expressway by the airport, exit 132. But the biggest challenge we have is fighting and arguing with families with barbershop law, because so many people have preconceived notion. Oh, there's nothing that we can do. You know, they told me mom and dad have to get divorced. We have to sell the house. All this complete nonsense. So I try to invite people and encourage them, come to the workshop, of course, but have an open mind. Don't be so convinced there's nothing that can be done, because there's almost in every case something.
That happens every time. It happens on the phone. They just never know. Everybody does it. We all do it.
And unfortunately, sometimes the nonsense comes from people who you would hope would know better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you would think.
That is for sure. I mean, Autumn was just telling me on the ride over, she was helping a lady with some pre-planning at a bank. And, you know, I don't want to steal your thunder, but...
No, it's fine. She's probably watching right now, so...
But it was good. It's good news. You get to see the reaction of the family, so you get, you know, the fruits of your labor. You get to see people actually say, wow, this load off their shoulders. You experience that a lot.
Yeah, well, I was doing something more in the trust side. Steve does the trust documents, and I still do a lot of that stuff, too, as well. So I went to the bank today with a client, and she, you know, we're just simply retitling her trust, her name, her trust into her bank account, or vice versa. So, but the guy just had advice that I wasn't 100% with. I mean, he says, you know, you should just throw somebody's name on the account. Well, you can do that, but there's a lot of reasons that you don't know why you shouldn't do that sometimes.
Right. Well, I mean,
so it just depends.
Yeah, because, you know, people ask, that is a question I get a lot.
Yeah.
Well, can't I just put my son
You can.
or my daughter on the bank account? Well, you can, unless your daughter goes through a divorce. And now your bank account maybe is a part of that divorce settlement.
So
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Or your son gets in a car accident and gets sued. I don't want my bank account or my house being involved in a lawsuit. So there's lots of reasons.
Lots of different reasons to do things. So with that said, also the pre-planning, you know, if you have questions about that, you should come to the workshop.
Absolutely.
It's not just about going broke in a nursing home, but
And Autumn really circle back to the 3 key questions we asked families at the workshop to open up, because it's a fast-paced, it's about an hour-and-a-half workshop. It's fast-paced, and there's a lot of levity and a lot of jokes that are almost exclusively at the attorney's expense, Steve Langdon.
Well
because I'm
deserved.
not an attorney.
Some of these are easy to make fun of, right?
Well, but you know what? He's a stellar leader of the community, so, you know, I have to pick him because I really feel inadequate next to him. So in any event, the questions at the workshop, I asked 3 key questions, and I tell the families, you don't have to be honest with me, but it's really important you're honest with yourself. I'll ask families, how many people have a loved one in a nursing home or about to go to a nursing home? Hands will go up. That's crisis planning. We can help because they're burning $7,000 to $10,000 a month. That's crisis planning. We can help. That's what we've been talking about for the past 20 minutes. That's why they want to go to freeworkshop.com. The second question is a little variable in that. I'll say how many families have someone at home getting some home health care, some physical therapy. Maybe they're just kind of having a caregiver check in on them because they're not sure how things will go, that they might have to think about a nursing home in 6 or 8 months. Other hands will go up. That's pre-crisis planning. We can help there as well. There's things that we can do. I'm meeting a family this afternoon. Steve and I have already met with them. It's a pre-crisis plan. And then the third variable is more what Autumn was alluding to, was how many families simply want to avoid problems for themselves, for their children, give them peace of mind. And then all the remaining hands go up, and some go up more than once. That's pre-planning.
Right,
we can
because
help
who
as well.
doesn't want to do that? I mean...
Right, so we can help. There's something there for everybody at our workshop. It is fun, it is fast-paced, and you're going to learn some things. But, folks, if you think it's going to be a boring 4-hour meeting with some man walking around with his pants pulled up around his armpits and bored and talking about when he was in the Civil War, and that's not it, okay? Go somewhere else. If you want to have some fun with infotainment value, come to the workshop Wednesday at 10 a.m.
It's good information, and it's free.
And this stuff's hard enough as it is. Let's have some fun while we're going through it.
But I really think it's vital for people to know, because regardless of where you are now, you're eventually going to hit one of the points you were talking
Absolutely.
about. Yeah,
right. Everybody's hands go up. It starts with a visit. They go to the website, freeworkshop.com, and they can register, John. They can go to 855-LARRY-55. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm really encouraged with the weather. I think for February, this is about as good as
it's ever going to get.
Right. So it's daylight. You don't have to worry about walking around at night, slipping on black ice or anything. It's all wet by then. It's melting now. People are coming out because we haven't done a workshop since when? November?
November.
Yeah.
So people are wondering, will the feather boa make an appearance? I mean,
you never know.
Everyone wonders.
You never know.
I'll
be there, Kentuckiana. What was that Buddha support, Autumn?
We all wanted to.
We all wanted to. Yeah, but Autumn, you laugh. But with a topic like this, it is good to, because sometimes if you don't laugh, you'll cry. In this case, it's good news. So if you're going into this thinking, I've got to do this, oh no, it's not that kind of a workshop.
Well, and you know what, Steve and I, we had a client in my office the other day, and I've told Steve about 95% of the people kind of get me because they don't mind laughing, having some of it, but there's 5% that are, you know, kind of wound up pretty tight. You know, I mean, they get mad if they see a squirrel in their yard. That's just who they are.
So then, you know, you got to, you know, take it down a notch. And he will. He does.
I do, and I will. But we had this one lady that Steve claimed took his life energy out of his body. She was so dry.
I do not remember saying those exact words.
Okay, well,
but they're pretty close.
Attend. It is Wednesday night. Don't forget now. It is workshop.
But she even got what we do and appreciate what Elder Advisors does.
There we go. And you will as well. There's the information on your screen. It is good information. It is good news. We'll take a break, and then Dawn G will tell you what's coming up at 2 o'clock. Wave Country with Dawn G.